Alright boys, welcome back to the channel. We are here with episode 44 of our Winnipeg Jets franchise mode. In this episode, we're going to be finishing the regular season here. We finished about halfway through the season, 27-13-1, so a 54 win pace. At one point in the season, we were on a 62 win pace. We are currently the best team in the NHL, and we're going to look to keep that streak going. But before we get started on the episode, let's get into the comments because I answer every single comment. I try to get to them in the episode. Sometimes there's a bit too many, but not today. There's only one comment today, so it should be easy. It says, from Alexander, great episode. Thank you very much, Alex. The team is doing good. It might perform even better once it has gelled through the second half of the season. And yeah, that's definitely a possibility. Then he has a couple of questions/suggestions. So the questions, I'll just answer them real quickly. Are we heading into the playoffs with Seelovs, or should we look for a better starter, like a rental starter at the deadline? And it's just going to depend what's available, right? If there's a better goalie that we can get for fairly cheap at the deadline, maybe we go with him. But Seelovs has proved himself quite capable right now. Number two is Canzanello playing in the AHL? And let me just show you guys this real quick. He is playing as the backup goalie, I think, in the AHL to Riley. Let's just get over here and take a quick look. Yes, it's Riley and Canzanello. Clifford Riley, he's played 23 games, has amazing numbers. And then here is Canzanello. He's played 5 games and has pretty bad numbers, but he's only 66 overall. He should still grow a little bit. Now, the next couple of comments here, this is where things get a bit more interesting. So, Alex says he's quite bothered that Pittsburgh is giving us a top 2 guaranteed pick on top of the 8th overall selection from the last draft. So if you guys didn't know, we traded Cole Perfetti and Tero Karlathy to Pittsburgh in exchange for their first round pick last year, which was the 8th overall selection, and a first round pick this year, which they are like the worst team in the league. So that's going to be a very high pick. Yeah, they are the worst team in the league currently by 2 points. So that's a guaranteed top 5 pick at this time. Now, it's obviously not our GM's fault. Yeah, it was a great trade, in fact, but Cole Perfetti and Tero Karlathy were supposed to help them take the next step, and that clearly didn't happen. Pittsburgh desperately needs help and likely would have worked in some condition/protection for the pick. Since that's not an option in the game, let's give them a portion of the value they'll lose in the franchise piece. So maybe give them some prospects, a first-round pick for their 7th-round pick or something like that to make it a bit more fair. And I don't know about this, boys. I don't know, because a trade is a trade, right? And even if they worked in some protection of some kind, that wouldn't mean that I have to give them more value. You know, it would just be I would get their first round pick for next year instead, right? And so I think they have to live with their choices. We made a trade with them. It was a fair trade that they accepted. We traded them Cole Perfetti and Tero Karlathy. We gave up a lot, right? We gave up a top 4 defenseman and our second line center in exchange for 2 first-round picks. I think it's a fair trade. I think they should have just insulated around them a bit more. So in response to it, let's take a look at Pittsburgh's lineup right now and see why they're performing so poorly here. I don't know that I really have to babysit them. I mean, stuff like this just happens. You got to work through it. That's because they have a guy like Jonathan Quenneville as their third line. Like, their bottom 6 is horrible for some reason. They do have injuries, right? Igor Sharangovich would be great as a third line center, so he's injured. But look at their bottom 6. It's just so bad. 71 overall, 72 overall, 75 overall. They should have just picked up some guys in free agency for half the price. You know, they would have been able to do it. But Tero Karlathy's up to 83 overall. He's playing with Cadenton Grady. I mean, their defense looks okay, but it still doesn't even look that good. Goaltending, they do have Gabriel Dagla for the next 2 years, but I don't know, man. I don't think it's my business to have to try to make this team better. I mean, They should have insulated around their players more. Why are they making so much money? Like, okay, Cole Perfetti, that makes sense. Marco Tarvinen he's an 88 overall though, so he's a good player. Jonathan Bergman's not making that much. Like, why aren't they simulating well? I don't understand. Well, I understand why they're not simulating well, but these guys aren't making any money down here. They still probably have like $20 million worth of salary cap to spend. Tero Karlathy got $5 million. That's not bad. $4 million for him, sure. And then these guys, $8.8 million for Kalen Addison. That's gonna hurt, but they should still have money. How much salary do they have? They should have some form of salary cap here. Dagla's making $10 mil. What about Joel Hofer? Yeah, Joel Hofer's a bad contract, but I don't know, man. They could find, like, let's look in free agency right now. They could probably pick some people up for, like, league minimum that are around 77 overall. Yeah, look at this. There's a bunch of 78 overall guys here that would like to make league minimum. You could sign these guys, and you could have a way better bottom 6. and that could help out. I mean, it's not going to change everything, but that could help out a little bit anyways. Are there any potential players? There's a low elite guy right here you could put into the system. Maybe I'll do that, but you know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's really my job to make these trades make sense. The EA said it was a good trade. I had to give up, in fact, a little more than I was expecting to. But hey, I guess that's the way things roll. And if you guys are absolutely outraged by my refusal to give them a little bit more, I definitely understand why, because they're not a good team. But at the end of the day, Pittsburgh's got to make their own choices, and they decided to go through with the trade, and so they have to live with them maybe not being that good of a team. That's what happens when you trade away a first round pick, right? Like, look at Ottawa last or 2 years ago, right? We traded a first, second, and third for Alex DeBrincat, and we missed the playoffs, and Chicago gets a great pick because of it. I think they picked up, yeah, I'm pretty sure Chicago drafted Kevin Korchinski with their first round pick, so that's a really good piece of the future, and we had to give away Ottawa had to give away a first round pick for it. So, these trades happen where you give away a top round pick and of the future, and sometimes it just doesn't go your way, or you don't perform as well as you think you would with the new addition, and you have to live with it. So I don't know. If you guys are outraged by that, we can definitely give them a little bit more value for a 7th round pick, but as of right now, I'm going to hold pat on that. So his next one is to look at Pittsburgh and Buffalo's lineup. So we took a look at Pittsburgh. Now this is Buffalo. They've got Peyton Krebs, Dylan Cousins, Zach Benson, Jacob Melanson, Gabriel Velarde, Melvin Barker playing second line time. He has 17 goals in 40 games. He was on a 34 or so point pace. On pace for about 58 points, which would be a very good year for him. Basically, like, tied for his 3rd best career year. So I'm loving that Melvin Barker's playing a little bit better over here in Buffalo. What about the rest of them? Alexei Protas is here as well, former Winnipeg Jet. I believe he has a cup with us, I think, in 2031, right? 2031 was our cup year, wasn't it? Yeah. No, he didn't. Oh, he didn't play in the playoffs, though. Maybe. Wow, he doesn't have a cup with us. Okay, fair enough. Sorry, Alexei. And then on defense, they've got Liam Karlsson, Ottavainen, Gale Crabbe, now with an X factor of shutdown. He's a medium elite guy. What's his stats? His stats look pretty good. Good shooter, good physical, good defense. The other things, not so much. But yeah, Gale Crabbe could be a problem for some other teams. And Brody DeMarque's an 86 overall is Brody DeMarque. Wow. So he's definitely a top 4 defender. What do his stats look like here? 5-star defense, 4-star senses, 4-star physical. He's a defensive defenseman with 90 offensive awareness. Brody DeMarque has turned out to be a gem for the Buffalo Sabres. Now, they should pair him probably up with Liam Karlsson or something like that. They have so many left-handed defensemen. Maybe a team could take one of these guys off their hands and give them a right-handed defenseman to pair with Liam Karlsson or something like that, right? That could be a good trade if the AI is smart enough to think of it, but they probably won't be. In goal, they've got Devin Levi and Matteo Hecht, and that's another Winnipeg prospect. Oh my gosh, so they got Matteo Hecht, who I think was part of the Sam Kennedy trade. Then they also have Melvin Barker, Gabriel Velarde, Alexei Protas, okay, Gale Crabbe, and Brody DeMarque. This is literally the Buffalo Jets right here. I'm telling you, these are the Buffalo Jets. Oh my gosh, half their team is former Winnipeg Jet players. Holy cow. All right, and then Alex's comment finishes off with, we don't need anything up front, but could definitely use a boost on defense and possibly goaltending. A big guy like Nick Hague out of Toronto for a 2nd or 3rd round pick or something like that would be a perfect partner for Stefan Kreitzer for a long playoff run. Take care and see you in the next one. Well, thank you as always, Alex, for all of your comments and thoughts. And yeah, not too much to say there. Let's just get right into this one. We're going to hopefully start this video off right where we ended the last one. Let me get Seelovs back in the net, though, because I do remember he just came back from injury. And don't forget, boys, to mark your calendars for, what day is it? March 2nd here. That's going to be Kyle Connor's jersey retirement. So mark your calendars, get your tickets early here, and be ready for that day. That's going to be a big one up against the Carolina Hurricanes. So let's see, where are we going to go? Let's watch, if we ever see Buffalo, we want to watch that game because they've got so many Winnipeg Jet players or former prospects of ours. Anyways, let's start this up. 5-4 win against Colorado, 5-3 loss, then 6-3 win, 5-3 win against the Detroit Red Wings, and now we are in the game against the Arizona Coyotes. We are still atop of the league, so let's keep it moving, and I'll have us watch the Calgary game, and then we will 4-3 loss there to Arizona. So we'll watch Calgary, and then I'll have to do the scouting, but I'll be right back with you guys. So here we go. We are in Winnipeg, Canada Life Center. Calgary's not a fantastic team, but they could still make the playoffs if they have a big push here. So let's not underestimate them. First period, that's going to be 1-0 for the Flames as Maxim Comtois scores on Silovs late in the first period. Second period now, that's 2-1 for the Flames. Okay. Hanzik scores on Silovs, but then Colby Stoll gets one on Dustin Wolf. We need a good third period if we want to come back in this one. We don't want to have 2 losses in a row here as we lost that one to the Arizona Coyotes. But there's Christian Fischer. But hang on, Shane Pinto gives us, we're only down by 1 now. We still have 10 minutes to get a goal. Let's push hard here, boys. Dustin Wolf is a good goalie in this universe, though, so he's going to try to lock it down. 5 minutes remain. Can we get one? Do we have a hero? No, we do not. Okay, unfortunate 3-2 loss to the Calgary Flames. 3 stars of the night are Dustin Wolf, Christian Fischer, and I don't know who that is, Hanzik of some kind. So, got to do the scouting, but I will be right back with you guys. Just give me 1 second. My scouting actually doesn't finish until like the 24th here, so we're going to watch this game against Montreal. Actually, no, we're just going to sim past the game against Montreal, and then we're going to see if maybe they can play a little bit better here. Let's get some wins. Wade Stanton has been injured. That's a huge injury until February 3rd, so he's out for the rest of January. That's actually a massive injury, considering he was basically the guy pushing all the offense on this third line. So let's get Rocky Bomick up there in there to fit his position, and then coming in for Rocky Bomick, I guess, will be Gavin Haves. Sure, yeah, well, I guess we can do that for now. But I'm not too happy with it. Colby Stoll didn't have any power play or penalty kill time, so we can just do that. It's totally fine. How's Bomick doing? 14 points in 48 games, not bad. We'll see if he can get it going a little bit more here. Steven Backlund still only with 12 goals. I'd like to see a bit more out of him. So let's stop that. We'll have to stop the sim because EA doesn't know how to fix their game. Okay, 7-2 win against Chicago. Great way to get back on the horse. But then a 4-2 loss to Montreal. They're a very good team, though. We still do have the most games played in the NHL, though, so we're probably not going to end up being the first place team in the league. But now, let me go into the scouting. All right, boys, we are back here now. We've had a bit of a rough patch here. We've lost 3 of our last 4 games, so I want to try to get onto a bit of a winning streak here. We've got Anaheim. They're a good team. LA's a bad team. Then back to Calgary. I want 2 out of 3 wins here of these next 3 games. So let's see. That's a loss to Anaheim and a big loss. There's a win against LA. Give me a win against the Wade Stanton's fully back. Okay, let me get him back into the lineup. And in that time, Bomick is up to an 81 overall. He also had 2 goals, so that's okay. How did Gavin Hayes do? He didn't really do anything for me, so Hayes will come out. Wade Stanton will drop back in. Bomick, I don't really want to relegate him to the 4th line. He's listed as a 3rd liner, and he grew an overall while he was on that 3rd line, but maybe Backlund comes down. We'll try it like this for a couple of games and see how these guys do, just because I want to try to give Bomick a bit more time if possible. So let's see that. I'm going to have to stop the sim. I said loss to the Calgary Flames, and we are kind of spinning out of control here, and I do not like that whatsoever. So as we reach the All-Star break, we're 32-19-1. It's not a very good record anymore. I mean, we're still doing okay. There's 2 wins in a row, though. Good. That really helps us out. Puts us in a much better position. The Stars are tied with us in points. And look at this. The Blackhawks even are only 2 points below us, despite us being the best team in the league at the start of this video. And we've had a bit of a rough patch, but also everybody else is just winning, it feels like. So that's a bit tough. Anaheim, they're a good team. It's a 4-2 win, though, and our winning streak continues. Head coach Rowe placed that player down there in the AHL. Now it's a 4-game winning streak, and I do not want to touch these lines. Now, I guess Bomick on the 3rd line is making a bit of a difference up there. That could be very nice. Not making any of those trades. There's a 7-0 win. Okay, let me get Dennis back into the lineup here in Manitoba. Alright, so those lines are all changed now. Let me just get back to the NHL schedule. And we are on a 6-game winning streak. We are doing great things right here. I'm not changing the lines. We're going to go and see Kyle Connor's jersey retirement ceremony right now. And we are, oh my god, we lost 1 game in the month of February. We went on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 game winning streak. And now it is time for Kyle Connor's jersey retirement. We are atop of our division once again here, and we only have 1 game in hand. Or sorry, the Coyotes only have 1 game in hand over us, so we've really brought back this lead here, or this divisional hold that we have. Well, this is going to be an emotional game, guys. Kyle Connor, he spent like almost 1,000 games with us. He had so many points, and tonight we honor him by putting number 81 up in the rafters. Everybody rises to their feet as we give our thanks to Kyle Connor for everything he did for this organization. He won 3 Stanley Cups with us, I think, or was it 2? No, it was 2 Stanley Cups with us because we traded him after the second one, but 2 Stanley Cups with us. He is a franchise legend, an absolute legend here for us. So let's see how we can honor him in tonight's game. He also played with Carolina in his last year. That's why we have him up there. Sam Kennedy gets the first goal, the new Kyle Connor, if you will. But here we go. First period, 3-2 for us. Sam Kennedy, Elliot Patrick both score. They give us a 2-0 lead. Then Braden Point and Thomas Bordelot tie it up. And then Rocky Bomick on the third line gets a goal to give us a 3-2 lead. Second period now. Oh my God, that's a bad period. That is a horrible period. Let's forget about that. And let's start this third period strong here, boys. Come on. We need an early goal, like in the first 10 minutes early. And we do not get a goal in the first 10 minutes. Things are looking bleak, but Owen Power is going to score. Now we have 8 minutes to get another one. Let's press, boys. We need all the offense we can muster here. Carolina only has 20 shots, and yet they are beating us 6-4 somehow. So that's a bad game from Seelovs and Gunderson. I think it was Seelovs in the net at the start. Let me just check here. That's not a good game from our goalie. Seelovs allows 5 goals on 15 shots, a .667 save percentage, and a 9.41 goals against average. If we're looking to make a change, I think it might be between the pipes there, boys. That was not a good game whatsoever, but in the calendar simulation, we are 8-0 in our last 8, so that's good at least. Here we go. Washington and Buffalo are our next 2 games before the trade deadline. They are both bad teams. Buffalo, though, we will go and see because they are the Buffalo Jets, as we know a little all too well. There's a loss to Washington, of course. After winning 8 in a row, we now lose 2 in a row. Don't make it 3 in a row, boys, or I will not be a happy GM. And maybe some changes will be made at the trade deadline here. So, first period, 1-0, good start. Matt Svensson gets one on Devin Levi. Second period now, 3-2. Okay, I'll take it. Wade Stanton and Rocky Bomick, the third line, both score on Devin Levi. And then Recchi and Tolvanen both get goals on Gunderson, who's in the net for tonight's game. All right, Gunderson, prove to me you still deserve to be here. Third period, shut it down. And Pelletier scores on Gunderson to tie this game up at 3s. Now we need offense, and Matt Svensson's going to give it to us there. The goal scorer. Matt Svensson has 2 goals already, but Gabriel Velarde, of course, former Winnipeg Jets scores. But then Shane Pinto, our third line, gets it done with 3 goals on the night. Eric Dowd getting in on some of the action as well. Eric Dowd is a monster on that second line. He's only 83 overall, but don't let that fool you as the Jets are able to win this one 6-4 in a barn burner. 10 goals in total in the game. That is not the type of defensive performance we like to see, but we will accept it as we get the win at least. So a W is a W. We will take that, and let me show you guys who's doing what for us in the last, 20 games or so. All right, so looking at our stats, it looks like Elliot Patrick and the second line have really turned things up here. 40 goals, 30 assists for Elliot Patrick. Beautiful. Then Eklund with 66 points. Eric Dowd has 66 points in his, second year in the league? Second year in the league, he has 66 points in 63 games, and he's a +30. Got to be most improved player in the league this year. Matt Svensson is point per game. Sam Kennedy is a little under point per game. Only 19 goals for Sam Kennedy. That's not great considering the contract that we just gave him. A bit concerned about that. Aiden Stempniak, on the other hand, 49 points in 63 games, very much fulfilling his contract of only $7 million. He's now an 85 overall as well. I think he was 84 to start the year off, so that's good stuff. Howard Quenneville on pace for 50 or so points, something like that. Sniper, 14 goals, 27 assists. More of a playmaking sniper, but that's okay. Wade Stanton doing his thing on the third line, 40 points in 60 games. Great. Corbin Mills has really upped his game recently. He's got 40 points in 63 games as well. Shane Pinto with 35. Will Hoffman with 33. That's a career high for the kid, I think. Yes, it is. Career high for Will Hoffman in his first year with the Winnipeg Jets. Now, Stefan Backlund, pretty disappointed in Stefan Backlund, to be honest. He can still be a good third liner. We dropped him back to the fourth line for recently, but kind of disappointed. Only 15 goals, 26 assists. I would love to see a little more if possible. Rocky Bomick now 22 points in 63 games. He's doing okay on the fourth/third line. Colby Stoll on the fourth line having 13 goals. That's great. Owen Power, 20 points. Stefan Kreitzer, 19 points, plus 21 is Stefan Kreitzer on our third defensive pairing. Wyatt Johnston doing good. Zach Jones is a plus 22, great. And then Gavin Hayes got in there for 3 games. Looking at our goalies now, Artur Silov's 916 save percentage, 5 shutouts. Yeah, Sila Gunderson now below a 900 save percentage and only 3.06 goals against average. So maybe we throw Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen in there for a couple of games. Or maybe we trade Luukkonen and a second-round pick or a third-round pick for a goalie. Let me check the blocks and see what's available. Alright guys, I'm just going through the trade blocks here, and there's not really a single team that I think would want to trade their goalies. You know, we're looking for teams with multiple goalies, so with a goalie to spare, or a team with like an 85, 86 overall goalie. These guys, Buffalo here, they've got two mid-80 goalies, so makes sense why they would want to trade them. But Matteo Hecht, young kid, league minimum contract, medium elite goalie, they don't want to trade that. Devin Levi, I do not want his salary, so that's a no-go. Then in Calgary, they've got one goalie, Dustin Wolf. He's injured though, and they still have these two goalies here. Not really that interesting. Carolina, they only have one goalie, so they're not trading them. Chicago really only has two goalies, and even if they didn't, they're only 81 overall, so they're not going to make a big difference to us. Colorado, nothing really. Columbus, okay, we could get Wallstedt back for 1 year, 6.5 mil, and it might help them because then they would be able to play Simon up in the NHL or Simon. We've had Wallstedt, we know how shaky he can be in the playoffs, so he was good this year. I don't know. They're also a good team. They don't want to trade him. It's an okay move, but he's making quite a bit of money as well. We could do it, but I'm not entirely convinced on it. We also just gave away Wallstedt, so I'm not sure if he would want to come back here. Detroit or Dallas, they're only with one goalie. Detroit only has two. Edmonton, not good enough. Florida, okay, we could go with maybe like a Spencer Knight, but we'd have to give away so much value. He's making $7 million. Then what about Hunter Jones? But then they don't have a backup goalie for their NHL team, and also Hunter Jones is only one overall better than Artur Silov, so it's not going to make that big of a difference, I don't think. LA Kings, they don't want to trade Zarenko. They have him locked up for the next 2 years. He's a good goalie as well, I think. Yeah, he's actually not playing that well. Under 900 save percentage, so maybe they'd want to trade him. But then they only have an 80 overall goalie. How are they? And they're actually a bad team, so maybe Zarenko makes sense, but I don't know, man. 2 years, actually, yeah, okay, maybe Zarenko makes sense here. We could do Zarenko here. 5 years, or sorry, 2 years at 5.6 mil is not the end of the world. What is he, an 84 overall goalie? 84 overall. We could also trade him at the draft if we want to. Yeah, I think this is something that we could do here. I didn't actually look at LA, I guess. We would give them Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen to fill in for the role for their goalie position right now, and then we give away a second, and I think that's fair. We don't have our second this year, but what about a third and and our sixth here? What about that? A third and a sixth, and Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen for Zarenko for the next 2 years. Probably only this year, though, for the trade deadline. What do you say, LA? What do you say? Accepted. Okay, we consider it a done deal. Fair enough. There we go. So we got a new goalie on the block. Hopefully that can help out. Torsten can now go to the AHL to hopefully get the experience that he needs. And now I just got to look for a defenseman. All right, boys, here's what I'm thinking. So on the trade blocks, there's not too many defensemen, big defensemen either, that are really there. Owen Pickering's a guy who's only up for this year. He's only making $2.6 million. He's 6'4" as well, so this can be a great partner for Stefan Kreitzer. He's also a left-handed guy. Kreitzer's a righty, so I think they can be good partners in the playoffs if it works. I was going to go over to Toronto and pick up Nick Hague, like Alex suggested, except Toronto's like the best team in the league, and they have nobody on their block. Let's just show you. There's literally nobody on their block. Defenseman-wise, a guy like Nick Hague is here, 81 overall, but he's making $6.2 million for the next 2 years, and we just picked up some salary with a goaltender. And also, these two guys are fairly similar, Nick Hague and Owen Pickering, so we're going to choose Owen Pickering for now. I just went to the wrong team. Hang on. Yeah, so we're going to go Owen Pickering. We're going to give them a 6. We're also going to give them a rental defenseman, just Thrun. We picked him up in free agency. He's really nothing special, but he can be, I guess he can play some defense if they absolutely have to, but really this gives them a chance to bring somebody up in the system if they want, or whatever they choose to do. They might be a playoff team. They're pushing for it, but this way they get at least a pick and somebody who can fit in a fairly similar role to Owen Pickering. So what do you say there? We consider it a done deal. Accept your trade offer. Fair enough. And now we have Pickering in the system. All right, boys, that's all we have for the trade deadline. So you guys know the deal now. We just simulate past the trade deadline, take a look at what happened around the league, And I'll see you guys there, see if any big moves happened, any huge names getting traded. So, Lekari Mackey goes to the Islanders. Vancouver picks up 2 seconds. All right, Olin Zellweger goes to Pittsburgh. So there we go. Pittsburgh getting a bit of help on their defensive core, which makes sense. Zellweger can play with Karlathy now, an offensive and a defensive defenseman playing together. Let's see what the rest of trade deadline looked like here. Let's go down to our 2 trades. All right. So now we'll see. DeBrincat is now in Buffalo. Oh my gosh. So Buffalo is stacking up for some moves. We saw the Lekari Mackey deal. Edward Saleh or whatever. Sal is in Pittsburgh. And Carter Verhaeghe's there as well. Landon Boychuk, Lucas Svejovsky, okay, sure. Michael Bushinger is now in Tampa from Seattle. Tampa's a horrible team. We don't really have to worry about that. Some picks moving around. Jonathan Berggren's now in San Jose, and Pittsburgh picks up some seconds and prospects, it looks like. Jesper Wallstedt's now in Colorado. Oh, no. Of course he is. Of course Wallstedt's in Wallstedt's in Colorado now. Okay, Igor Sharangovich is now in Buffalo, and that looks like it's pretty much it. And Olin Zellweger is in Pittsburgh. So Pittsburgh making a couple moves, Buffalo making a couple of moves, and Wallstedt is in Colorado. Lord help us. We know what that means. We're going to play Colorado in the first round, and Wallstedt's going to bounce us because he's going to be getting shutouts left, right, and center. I'm going to take Gunderson out for a little bit here, and I'm going to play him in the AHL. Clifford Riley has amazing stats. Canzanello, not so much, but I'm going to give Canzanello a little bit more time to play. So we're going to go Gunderson, Canzanello, and maybe 15 games. Like in 15 games or so, I'll switch it up to Gunderson and Riley instead, and we'll see how they do there. So hopefully they can rotate some goalies a little bit here. They do play like many back-to-back games in the AHL, so hopefully the AI knows to do that. But now, first game after the trade deadline, we always go in and watch it. It's tradition around here. Okay, let's see. Mitja Jokinen. Smaller guy, two-way defender. Horrible shot accuracy, bad puck skills, good skater, good physical, good defense, bad senses. More of a defensive guy. 9 points in 60 games, depth defenseman. He's fine, but we don't need him. We can decline that move there. Jack Rathbone, let's see. Smaller guy, only 2 points in 11 games. Yeah, we don't really need that either. Has a good skating stats, but that's okay with us. Okay, so now up against Edmonton. They are a bad team, but we always go in and watch the first game, so we will see how Zarenko does, I think, with us. And let's see, Will Hoffman's going to score to open things up, but then Rasmussen gets one on Zarenko. First period ends 2-2. All right, Corbin Mills and Will Hoffman, two of our defensemen scoring, but then Rasmussen and then Nabokov scores shorthanded. Yikes, okay. So Zarenko has not started his Winnipeg Jet career too well right now, but things can always change. Second period now, 3-2. Yikes, Nabokov gets his second on Zarenko. Can we stop the bleeding here, boys? There's Sam Kennedy who gets one on Stuart Skinner. We're now tied up at 3. Power play opportunity does not go anywhere, unfortunately. We are almost doubling their shots. There's Stefan Backlund who gets a goal. Beautiful. We now have a 1-goal lead. Can we hold? They have 3 goals on 20 shots, which is not a great debut from Zarenko, but if he can get the W, all things will be forgotten, and he can. 4-3 victory for the Winnipeg Jets. Your 3 stars of the night are Nabokov, Eklund, and Hoffman. So a bit of a shaky debut, but a win is a win. We're not going to complain about that. Let's keep going a couple of games at a time here and see if we can get on a winning streak. 5-2 loss followed by a 4-2 win. Okay, we'll take that. Toronto's a very good team, so a win against them would be huge for morale. Loss to the Capitals. 3-2 win to Toronto. So we've been 500 here since the trade deadline. Let's see if we can eclipse that. Let's go a week at a time. We'll go see. Maybe we won't go and see it, but there's a win against. There we go. 3-2 wins aboard. 3-2 loss there. Okay, fair enough. But we do have points in our last 4 straight games. Where are we? We only have 11 games left. We need to win 8 of them to be on pace for what we had at the start of the video. That's probably not going to happen, but you never know. Ottawa's a pretty decent team. So is Carolina. The Kings are not very good, and Vancouver's not very good either. So 2 good teams, 2 worse teams. Let's see. There's a 6-4 win, 5-4 shootout loss, 11-5 win. Oh my God! But then a 5-0 loss. So we get 3, or we get, what do we get? 7 points? No, what is it? We get 5 out of 8 points. Okay, we'll take that. We won 2, lost 1 in overtime. Yeah, that's fair enough. We're still at the top of our division. We have clinched our the playoffs now, but we are not in the lead for that President's Trophy. But we are pretty close. We're only like 1 game behind if we win our game in hand. So let's see. We'll go these 2 games. These are 2 really important games considering they are both in our division, the Coyotes and the Stars. If we can beat both of them, we'll really blow past these guys in the standings. Let's see. There's a 4-2 loss, but then a 4-3 win. So we lose to the Stars, we beat the Coyotes. All right. Our division, it looks like, is clinched here. So really nothing to stop for. The Avalanche, oh my gosh, the Avalanche are in the wild card spot. No, we can't let them win because we don't want Wallstedt to shut us out here. There's a 2-1 win followed by a 4-3 win, followed by a 5-4 win, followed by a 5-2 win. So we are on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 game winning streak, and we are currently the best team in the league, tied for the best team in the league with the Maple Leafs. If we win this game, we will have hit our pace. We were on a 54 win pace. If we beat the Avs, who have now clinched the playoffs, because of course they have, we will clinch our 54 win pace. So let's try to do that, boys, and see what we can get done here up against the Colorado Avalanche in the first period. That's going to be 2-0 for us. William Eklund scores 2 goals on Jesper Wallstedt. Of course, it's Jesper. Oh my gosh, man. I know exactly. I can read it, man. I can read the script. All right, second period now. That's 2-1. That's Oliver Shillington gets 1 on Zarenko, but Zarenko having a bit better performance in this game here. Okay, Mikko Rantanen's going to tie things up on Zarenko. That is not ideal. Also, let me know if I'm saying Zarenko's name right. I don't know why I say Zarenko, but I just feel like that's how you pronounce it. Maybe he's Russian, so maybe there's a bit of an accent on it, but I'm not entirely sure. Our power play has gone nowhere 2 times in a row now. And now the last game of the season, oh my gosh, is going to end with Colorado scoring 2 goals in 9 seconds. One of them was an empty netter, though. But we lose that one 3-2, unfortunately. A third period collapse for the Winnipeg Jets. And Jesper Wallstedt makes 34 saves against his old team. Considering the fact that I think this is who we're playing in the first round, things could get ugly in the playoffs. All right, guys, so we finished 53, 26, and 3, which was good enough to give us second place in the entire NHL, 1 spot below the Toronto Maple Leafs. Let's look at the rest of the league here. Here's San Jose after trading away. No, that was Seattle. Never mind. Sorry about that. But after giving up William Eklund to UFA, I mean, they've done pretty well for themselves here since then. There's Arizona, Carolina is here, Dallas, Ottawa Senators for once in the top 10. Love to see it as a Sens fan. Chicago and Colorado was the second wild card in the West, and they are 13th place. That seems insane, man. So Vegas is here. No, Vegas must have been the second wild card. All right, fair enough. Anybody get messed up? No. Okay, so there's no bad wild card teams. Pittsburgh ends up finishing 30th in the entire NHL, so we have a top 3 pick, a guaranteed top 6 or 7 pick, I think. So that could be huge for us, getting a guaranteed medium elite player. That could be crazy. So goals for per game, where do we rank? We're the 3rd best offensive team in the entire league, and goals against, we're pretty good as well, the 2nd best defensive team. So the 3rd best offensive, 2nd best defensive. Power play was only 17%. Yeah, I should have looked at that a little closer. And where's our penalty kill? Our penalty kill was not very good last time we checked it. Yeah, we had the worst penalty kill in the entire league. So at least we know our special teams were bad, but at least we know that 5-on-5 we are getting it done. And that's what you want to see out of a playoff team, you know? In the playoffs, special teams, they're not going to be able to save you every single game like they can in the regular season because teams buckle down. Not as many penalties get called. So let's hope that our bad special teams is actually a benefit to us in the playoffs here. And then looking at our player stats, we have Elliot Patrick having a career year, 89 points, 53 goals, almost ties his career high, 89 points plus 25 for him as well. Beautiful stuff. Then William Eklund with 86. He's carrying that first line. Matt Svensson with 80. Very good. Eric Dowd in his 2nd ever year, 76 points for him. He's on a $5.1 million deal, getting 76 points. That is an A-tier contract, let me tell you. That's a beautiful contract. Almost 30 goals as well for Eric Dowd. Sam Kennedy, only 29 goals from Sam Kennedy, is a bit disappointing with his 5-star shooting, but he was on a very good line. Hopefully he can find his groove in the playoffs. Then we have Aiden Stempniak with 65 points. Career year for Aiden Stempniak. Still 85 overall, $7 million. Corbin Mills, 54 points. his best season, his second best season, sorry, of his career, but 54 points is pretty good for a defenseman. Wade Stanton, this guy is a third liner, and he had 51 points, better than some of our second liners out here. Howard Quenneville, 47 points in a rookie season. 47 points in a rookie season is amazing stuff. We love to see it. Only 16 goals for a sniper. Maybe he's more of a playmaker. That's okay, though. 47 points is pretty good. And there's Mr. Consistency, Shane Pinto, 41, another 40-point season from him. Will Hoffman with his first 40-point season of his career. Stefan Backlund with 38 points. He was playing fourth line time for the majority of the second half of the season. Actually, maybe not the majority, but for a decent chunk of it, he was playing fourth line time. So 20 goals on the fourth line is actually pretty brilliant, but we want to get him some third line time and see if he can maybe give us 25 goals, 30 goals. But yeah, his goal total isn't the problem. Problem is his point total as a whole. But hey, still had a good plus minus. Rocky Bomick with 29 points. He was a 0, so he got his point total up a little bit more, but his plus minus kind of suffered. Colby Stoll, great fourth line addition, if I may say so myself. Stefan Kreitzer, amazing season, 25 points. Is that a career high for him? Yes, it is. Career high for Stefan Kreitzer, also plus 22. Beautiful. Wyatt Johnston is here. Owen Power with a bad point total, but good plus minus. Zach Jones, plus 23. Love it. And then Owen Pickering didn't really play with us, but that is A-okay. In goal, let's see. We had 3 goalies play for us. So Vadim Zarenko, what did he do with us? With us, he was 12-4-2 in 18 games played for us. That is a beautiful record. 900 save percentage, 3.06 goals against. So his numbers looked way better than they did in LA as well. So we'll take those numbers. I mean, they're not Vezina winning, they're not world breaking or anything, but 12-4-2 is a great record. Then there's Arthur Silovs, who had an amazing season at 915 save percentage, 2.65 goals against average, and 5 shutouts, 31-15 for Arthur Silovs. That is a beautiful career year for him, and he's going to want to get paid next year. So looking around the entire league now, let's see who did what. Austin Matthews had 64 goals. Of course he did. Sean Farrell, Cole Caulfield, yeah, the Montreal boys, they can put that puck in the back of the net. Andrei Svechnikov, Connor Bedard, Larry Volsonar, Tim Stützle, Braden Point, the 38-year-old, 85 overall, scored 100 points for Carolina. Jack Hughes, Kirill Kaprizov. So no, like Connor McDavid, no Leon Draisaitl, no Nathan McKinnon, none of these guys, huh? Weird. I guess McDavid might be retired by now. I don't actually remember. But yeah, interesting stuff. Mikko Rantanen is here with 91 points. Anton Lundell, but he's still glitched out to say Rocky Bomick for some reason. Love it. But yeah, okay, fair enough. Leo Carlson is here as well. Looking at defense now, that's goalie, sorry. Let's look at defense first. Cale Makar with 89 points in 82 games at the age of 35. Good for him. Henry Muse, 83. So Cale Makar had a monstrous second half to the season then. Henry Muse also, what a season from Henry Muse. Definitely he's got to be the most improved player. Actually, he had 52 last year, but before last year, his career high was 23. Now he gets 76. That's insane growth. Adam Fox is here. Liam Carlson was the 4th best point-producing defenseman in the NHL. He was also a plus 12 this year. Was this his first year being a plus player? No, it wasn't. He's actually been a plus pretty much his entire career, so I'd never mind to take that back. Sorry, Liam. I was doing you a bit dirty there. Here's Jamie Drysdale, Quinn Hughes, Charlie McAvoy, and then Aiden Stempniak. So Aiden Stempniak, a top 10-point producer, it looks like. Oleg Kozlov, Axel Sandin Belika, Rasmus Dahlin, Pavel Menchikov, Kivi Harju, Sanderson, and then there's Corbin Mills. Looking at goalies now, we see Philip Gustafsson. Hugo Alnefelt might win the Vezina. That's crazy. 41 wins, 919 save percentage. Insane stuff. Sebastian Kosa, Pyotr Kochekov. Here's Vadim Zarenko, 900 save percentage, 37 wins. Pretty good season for him, I'm not going to lie. Jesper Wallstedt, of course, is up here as well, because why wouldn't he be? Let's see. People who have played 50-plus games, save percentage-wise, it's Hugo Alnfeldt's probably going to win the Vezina. He also has 3 shutouts. This guy down here got 8 shutouts. Kari Sepinen, he's with the Toronto Maple Leafs. All right, fair enough. Let's take a look at rookie skaters now to see. And oh my gosh, Howard Quenneville is 1 point away. But he was pushing for that Calder Trophy the entire year. And he might actually get it because he's the only plus rookie really on this list. He might get it because he was a better defensive asset than some of these other guys here. But 47 points for him. It was a pretty good season. He played a lot of time. He gave it away a little more than he took it away, but he has 110 hits. All right, fair enough. Howard good stuff. Any goalies? Yeah, 2 goalies actually. Wow. Pavel Zarkov and Blake Bertram. Congratulations to both of them. And Howard, I don't think he's going to win the Calder. It'll probably go to this guy. He had 20 goals and more points, but he's in the running at least. I'm sure he will get some votes. Taking a look at Buffalo and some of our good friends, we see Melvin Barker almost put up another 40-goal season. Actually, he has not ever put up a 40-goal season before, so that would have been a career. Yes, he has 1 year. Yeah, 1 year. His year with Kyle Connor and Cole Perfetti, I remember that, where he had 70 points. But 62 points for him, his second best career total of all time. Congratulations to him. Alex DeBrincat out here with 58 points. Gabriel Velarde had 39 playing second line time. Not ideal. Let's look at the defenseman now. Of course, Alexei Protas is here. Gail Crabb was a -4. He's still only 82 overall, 16 points. Where is Brody DeMarchi? 15 points, -15. Yikes for Brody DeMarchi, but 86 overall. He should be playing first line time with Liam Karlsson, but alas, they do not want to do that. Looking over here at Pittsburgh, I mean, Cole Perfetti did everything he could, man. 82 games played. He had 81 points, 62 assists. Is that a career high for Cole Perfetti? I feel like it's got to be, right? No, he had 69 assists in his 95-point campaign, but, I mean, this guy was doing everything, man. He only had 19 goals, so they would like to see a bit more from him there, but 62 assists, 81 points, only a 9% shooting percentage, which is rough, but he's on a team that desperately needs some help here. They're in a pretty rough state. Let's look for Tero Karlathy had 24 points, -16. 24 points, that's a career high by far, so perhaps he can get some growth for them. But yeah, this is a rough season for Pittsburgh. Let me know again if you guys want to see me ship out some assets to them, but I don't know. I just think they've got to live with their mistakes, I feel like. All right, boys, and that's going to do it for this one. But before we end it, let's take a look at who we are facing in the 2034 Stanley Cup playoffs. In the first round, it's going to be the Colorado Avalanche. Of course it is. So we get to see our good buddy Jesper Wallstedt between the pipes, but we know that. Let's take a look at who else is here. So no Nathan MacKinnon, he must have retired, but Emil Heineman, Julius Mettinen, and Mikko Rantanen can still get it done with his 91-point season or whatever it was. Yeah, 91 points, 43 goals. Second line, Matthias Michelli, Kari Lamminen, and Emil Heineman. What? Emil Hemming? And they have Emil Heineman and Emil Hemming. Wow. Okay, so that commentary is going to be impossible, but hey, other than that, I mean, their bottom six looks okay. Their second line doesn't look great. Their first line looks pretty good. On defense, what do they have? Bowen Byron. Oh, of course, it's the deadly duo. These two guys are always one of the best pairs in the entire NHL. +24 for Byram this year. Kale was a +26, and he's winning the Norris once again. But other than that, they have pretty much no defense, so all their money going into the top couple of guys, and then Jesper Wallstedt between the pipes. Of course, we know him, former Winnipeg Jet, a good friend with us. He won 2 Stanley Cups with us, so we got to try to find a way past Jesper Wallstedt. He knows our team very well, but we also know him. So let's see if we can use that to our advantage in this series and get it done. But I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, give it a like, comment if you're new, and subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get to 200 subs. We're getting sort of close, actually, only 40 away. So if you're new and you watch, there's a ton of you guys that don't subscribe. So if you want to hit that subscribe button, maybe you don't even realize you're not subscribed, but hey, if you want to hit that out, that would help me out a ton. But if you guys enjoyed this video, new videos come out Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. Peace out.